This is a countdown of the 6 top free apps to use with iMovie. They will assist you with your edits and boost the appeal of your videos. This video includes techniques and concepts that you won't find in any other one video on YouTube. And in fact, you'll be surprised at what these apps can do for you. Some you may not have heard of before. And the number one in the countdown is not the app you would expect to be at the top. So let's look at our 6 top free apps. Our number 6 application in the countdown is Audacity, and this is an audio correction tool. You'll mostly use it with iMovie to correct or sweeten your audio. In most cases, this will involve removing background noise perhaps of wind or traffic noises. And this will be most noticeable in interviews or in videos you are doing for YouTube, where you are talking to the camera and the background noise detracts from clearly hearing your voice. So let's now listen to this clip in iMovie and you'll hear the background noise.
He truly works to produce the best possible outcome for you. I gotta admit, he does his homework.
iMovie has a feature built in called Reduce Background Noise, and that's under the Audio tool up here, Noise Reduction. And if you click on that tool and then set the levels as to how much background noise you want to take out. Be careful here, because the more you increase this, the more the voice will have a Donald Duck helium type sound. So I find around 45% is a good solution. So let's play that back now.
He truly works to produce the best possible outcome for you. I gotta admit,
it's certainly taken a lot of the noise out, but there's still some there. So this is where we will use Audacity to remove all of that background noise without affecting the voice too much. If we move over here to share or to export, then we can export to a file. Now, up to now, you've been sending video and audio together. In this case, we just want the audio only. And then you'll notice you can select different file formats. We want the WAV file, and we'll export that, and we'll call it Audacity, and save that to the Finder. It's now saying that the share was successful, so we can then go to the Finder, and there is the audio. Once we've launched Audacity, then we can take the file we've just saved and drag it on top of the interface. It's going to create a copy, as it says here. And now, as we play through that,
he truly works to produce the best possible.
You can hear that audio in the background. So what we're going to do is to look for the loudest part of that audio, and it's in these portions here where that background sound is, and this certainly seems to be the loudest point here. So we're going to go up to the Effects menu, and we're going to select Noise Reduction and simply get a noise profile. Then we'll select the whole clip. That's Command A to select all, and come back to the effects and select the noise reduction again, and this time we'll be in step 2, and we'll look at how to reduce that noise. Now, it's set on 18 at the moment, which is normally quite high, so I'm going to bring that down to 10, and then we'll do a preview and see if we can hear that noise background still.
He truly works to produce the best possible outcome for you.
There's still a little bit there, so I'm going to take that up to, say, 14, and let's hear it now.
He truly works to produce the best possible outcome for you. I gotta admit, he does his homework.
I could barely hear the background noise there, so now let's take this back. We'll export it as a WAV file again that retains the high quality. And this time we'll call it Audacity Fixed, so that we know it's a different file from the original one, which was just Audacity. Now that the fixed file has been saved to the Finder, we can drag that into iMovie and we'll pop it on the Audacity. And there it is in the browser. We can now simply select all of that and drag it into the project and make sure that it's exactly at the beginning and exactly at the end. And so now the waveforms will match up. We can now completely reduce the actual clip. And then by playing it through here,
he truly works to produce the best possible outcome for you. I've got to admit, he does his homework. He makes sure he provides me with.
So that's completely now removed the background noise and the voice is still clear and is not affected by the noise reduction. Number 5 on our list is Handbrake. The Handbrake is used for converting footage into a format that iMovie can use. For this tutorial, we're going to convert footage from a DVD so that it can be played in iMovie. Now do be aware that the footage on a DVD is in standard definition or SD format, which means it will never be up to the quality of high definition HD or 4K, but that's the best you'll be able to do from a DVD. So what we need to do is to open Handbrake, and I have it in the dock down here, and we need to open a source. Then it's going to look for the DVD that we have installed, and it's going to ask you whether your material is copyrighted. I suggest that you don't copy copyrighted material, but Handbrake most likely will be able to do it anyway. So let's select that. And here is our DVD footage. So on the left-hand side here, we can select the preset of format that we want to use. So under General, currently it's selected at 1080p at 30 frames per second, or you can use the better quality here. So let's select 25 frames per second as we're in a PAL area. And then we select the format we want to convert to. So let's convert to an MP4 file, and we're going to save that in a particular location. You can type the name in of what you want it to be called, and you can browse your Finder to find the file you want to put it in. And now we're ready to go. We can add this to a queue and then put other items in there to be converted. But in our case here, we just have this one item to do. So let's start the encode. And you can see that it's encoding it down the bottom here. If we look over here in preview, we can see what it's doing. At any time you can pause this, do something else, and come back to it. It takes some time to encode, and you'll notice down here it's giving an ETA of around 45 minutes to encode what is about an hour's video on the DVD. If we look at our Finder, we can see the file that Handbrake has created, Reed and Stacy, and we can open that in QuickTime, and you can see the chapters that were on the DVD. So that just leaves us to now bring that converted footage into iMovie and to see it play. So we'll go to the Finder. There is the movie file. We can drag it on our event, Handbrake, and you can see that's in the browser up there. We can select a portion of it, an in point and an out point, and into the timeline from there. This is number 4 on our list, and it's KeyNote. Now, in this instance, we're going to use KeyNote to create a credit scroll that we can add some photos to and some indexed text, and then use that in iMovie. In iMovie, there is a very basic scroll, and you can simply drag that on top of your text, and it's a simple credit scroll that will show you the title of the scroll, the name of the person, and then a description. But as I said, it's a very basic scroll, and if you'd like to add photos or some index text for a grouping of people, you're going to have to do it manually. So what we're going to do is we're going to use KeyNote to create that credit scroll. We'll put some transparency on it so you'll be able to see through the text as you can here. And then we'll bring that into iMovie so you can see how different it is to the basic credit scroll. First of all, we'll create a new file in KeyNote. We'll give it a black background. We will delete the current text, and so that we can get a transparent file so that the text will show through, we're going to say no fill here, and we're also going to edit the master slide and make that no fill. We'll say done to that, and then we're going to create a text file, and we're going to paste a contact list. Here's the contact list, and if we come here and paste it in, now the text is black and it's on a black background, so we'll need to select that text, and clicking edit and going Command A, that selects all the text, and we'll make that white. Now we'll just increase the size a little. We'll make that 20. We can scroll it down, and what we're going to do is we're going to put an index off the side here, which will say bridal party, and we'll create a new text and just type in here GUESTS and position that beside here. And we'll do the same thing here. We'll just simply copy and paste this one since we've already got it. And we'll call this one bridal party. And now just position that there. We'll scroll down here and you'll notice here that there is the list of guests that weren't able to attend. So let's select that text there and we'll just cut that out. And we'll create a new text block and enter that in. Just copy it in there, and then drag that to the side. First of all, we need to group this index text with the main text. And with the Command key down, select the two items. You can see they're both selected, the little dots there. And we'll come up to Arrange and group those. Now that they're grouped, we can bring those down and position the bridal party and the guests so that they line up. With the Command key down, select this one, Command key still down, select this one, so the three are selected, and we'll group those. And so now it's all one group and we'll all scroll together. So next what we're going to do is to go to the Media button here and select Photos, and that brings up our photo library. So we'll just select this image here for the guests. It's a little bit big, so we'll reduce the size of that. And for the bridal party, we'll use the hands. So let's bring that in here, and we'll need to reduce that in size as well. And we can close this window now, selecting the two photos with the Command key down and also the grouped text, and again group that. What we'll do now is take this down off the page. And we just need to reduce our size. So let's just bring it down to say 50% of the actual size. And then you can see the text and photos are just below there, getting 601 there. So we're now going to animate this, and we'll go to Animate and select Action and select Add an Effect, and we're going to move it. Now we'll start at 601 and we'll end it at about minus 2200, which should see it off the screen. We're going to change this to none so that we don't get that ease in effect, and make this here about 60, so it will give us a nice slow scroll. Let's preview that, and here it is coming through now. We'll just speed that up now so we can see if it goes off the screen. And that's nicely gone off the screen now. So our next thing to do is to come to the File menu and select Movie. And this is important because we want to assure that that transparent background stays in. So we need to select Custom and Apple ProRes 4444. Make sure Export with Transparent Backgrounds is ticked. And next, and then we can save that file. When we come back to iMovie, we can find the scroll file. We can drag it into our browser, and there it is in the browser. Now simply need to drag that into the timeline. There's the scroll through there. Now what we do need to do now is to just change the background so we can read it a little better. So let's just select these two, and we'll come up to the filter settings here, and we'll change the filter, and we'll add a day into night filter. We may need to just change that a little bit again. So let's come to the contrast, and we'll increase the contrast. So now when we play it, there, and you can see the text reads quite well with the transparent background and the photos are attached. If you right click on the clip, that will show the speed editor, and then you can speed it up by making the clip shorter and having the hair show, or slow it down and the turtle shows. This is number 3 on the list. And in this video, you'll see how to convert unrecognizable video formats into something that will work in iMovie. With the introduction of Catalina as the 64-bit operating system for the Mac, all images require to be in 64-bit format. So all those old 32-bit images will not work on the Mac. So this makes it important to have an app that will convert these files. Welcome to the VLC Media Player, a free app. I would also advise that you check Apple's Incompatible Media webpage. The link is in the description below. Not all image formats are going to work with iMovie, but VLC will read most of the images that you are likely to come across. You'll find that the AVI format is one of the most common formats you will encounter that will not work with iMovie. I have one here which is the world globe, and if I try to drag that now into iMovie, you'll see it says no importable files. This simply means that this video in its current format is not able to be used by iMovie. So what are we going to do? We'll go to the dock and we'll select VLC, and then we will drag that globe into VLC. And you'll see that VLC is able to play that file. If we come over here to Convert Stream, and we need to drag that media into this window here. So here it is on the Finder, dragging the open media there. It's recognized the AVI, as we've seen already, and we can convert that into a format that suits. Let's use H.264 MP4, and we will now simply save that file to our computer and then be able to open it up in iMovie. Now that we're back in iMovie, let's import that converted file. It's on the Finder here. We'll drag it into Sydney Harbour, and you'll see there it is in the browser. And up till now, with this video that we've created here of the Sydney Harbour yacht races, we've used Apple's built-in spinning globe. So let's now replace that with the converted globe that we've used here. We can simply drag that on top. And now when we play it, there's the globe spinning. It's now part of our new version of the Harbour video. And we've used the converted file that was previously AVI and unusable in iMovie. And so to number 2. In fact, the next 2 apps are perhaps not the most featureful of apps, but they are the ones that you will use most of the time. In fact, probably every day. Both of these apps ship with your Mac. So number 2 on the list is QuickTime. This is an app that not only plays your videos, but allows you to trim as well as record. So let's have a look at QuickTime. You can create a new movie, which is in fact using your webcam on the computer. We can do a new audio recording. If we click on the little downward arrow here, then you can see your different microphones to select. When you press the record button, it will now record what is being said. And because I'm recording in QuickTime, it will record what's just been said. Play that back. The record button, it will now record what is being said. And we can stop that there. You can create a new screen recording, and when you ask for a screen recording, then you can select your entire screen, or you can select just the current window, which is the full iMovie window as it stands at the moment, or you can select a portion of the screen. So we just have this portion of the screen here that we can select and record. You can then here also select whether you want the timer to time for 5 or 10 seconds before you start to record, or as I've got it here on none. And then when you press capture, it will start recording. Once you've finished recording, then you can go to this button up here to stop the recording. And then you can open a file if you wish, and that will play any QuickTime capable video. Let's open this wedding file here. It will play that file.
Ever may come.
If you wish, you can show the inspector here and it will tell you what type of file that is, what the resolution is, etc., and the data size and the bitrate. Also with this, you can go to the edit menu and select trim. And now what trim will let you do is to trim just to a portion. So let's just say we want to do the vowels only, and we can trim that. Then we can save it. Once the trim is saved, then we can go to iMovie and open a new project or drag it into one of our current projects. Create a new project, and then we can come to our Finder and we can then select the clip and drag it into the... I just wanna tell you I am... And it'll play an iMovie as any other video would do. So that's our number 2. The next one is our number 1 top app. And finally, the number 1 application. And this may be not the app you would have expected to be in this position, but it's number 1 because you will use it every day. And in its simplistic way, it will replace a lot of the things that you would have used Photoshop for in relationship to iMovie. You will see that you can use Preview to create text files, to build up multiple images, to remove backgrounds, even scan documents and take photos from an iPhone. Let's go to the File menu and we'll import from phone. So we can take a photo, and you'll now see on your phone that you can take a photo. You can scan the document and it will show up in Preview. If we go here, we can see that we can import from the scanner. And so we can scan, we can take screenshots from a window or the entire screen. It's now taken a screenshot. One of the other nice features of Preview is the ability to import directly from an iPhone your videos and stills so that you can work on them in Preview and then distribute them to iMovie. Now, iMovie in itself can import directly from an iPhone, so if you came up to import media here and you had your iPhone attached, you can see here, there's the clips on the iPhone and I can import them from there. But with Preview, you can go to directly import from the iPhone. Here are the videos that are on the iPhone and can be brought straight into Preview. You can drag those straight to your desktop. Here are some clips that are on our iPhone. So if I was to drag this one in here, I can pop it straight on the desktop. And there it is there, and I can start working on it in Preview directly. Typically, what you would use Preview for is to work with still images. If we go to a web page now and select an image which is not copyright, but has a transparent background, so if I simply right-click on that now, I can copy that image. And then when we come to Preview, we can open a new file from the clipboard. So new from clipboard. What that does is that brings the image up here for us to work with. Now we could simply go in and export here and save that and use it with a transparent background, or we could do some different things with it. So let's come to the tools here and we'll select annotate. And for instance, we could put a speech bubble in there and you could type some text in that. So when you see here that your toolbar is opened, and that's opened up from this little A here, so that opens and closes the toolbar. We can select the text tool and you'll see there's some text down there and we can type in that. All very interesting. Let's just delete those for now. What else can we do with this? Well, if we use this rectangular tool here, we can select part of an image. So we could click on this here and delete that out of the image. Or putting that back there, we could use the smart lasso. This is a lot smarter. And clicking on the edge here, we can just draw this over the image and it highlights the actual image for us, taking it out and leaving the shape behind. Undo that. We could remove the background. So by clicking on this tool here, you could gradually remove the background. So we could remove that background there by deleting it. We could also remove this checkerboard and delete that. And now we can go and save that image or export it, and we'd export it. And what we'd want to do is to export it with an alpha channel as either a PNG or a TIFF file. So now let's try and do something else with this image. Let's build up some multiple images. Coming to Safari, and we'll just open a new window, and using Preview's screenshot from a selection, we can select this particular image here, copy it and paste it, so that we're now building up multiple images within the same frame. Let's take the Final Cut logo and pop that in here. We'll put that one over there. Now, if this isn't big enough, we can resize it. Resize this one. Maybe take another one here. So how about the A and pop that in here. If we want to, we can increase the size of the whole image by clicking on this expand here. We can make it into a 1920 by 1080 image and turn off the scale proportion. And there's the 1920 image. Now when we import those files into iMovie, import media and select the multi-file and also select the file with the transparent background. Import those now. There they are in the browser. And we can simply drag those into our timeline. And there is the clip with the transparent background, and of course the Ken Burns effect is applied automatically. If you want to avoid that, take the Ken Burns effect off. Please like, subscribe and press the bell. That will allow me to make more of these tutorials for you.